Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions. Today I'm Bancroft, being joined once again by Jimmy, and like always, Fluff.
Yes, sir.
What up, people?
And like always, there's buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. Today's matchup is Jimmy versus Fluff. Jimmy's brought back Whis, which you all saw earlier this week, and Fluff has taken on a new take using the Hirudegarn engine, but with a different leader. Now, why? I feel like Broly was like amazing.
Yeah, I love the Broly Hirudegarn deck, but I was challenged by someone to make a Dredge-Ku deck. And I've been working a lot recently, and I didn't have time to like sit and fully flesh out a deck for the Dredge-Ku leader. So I was like, what if I just took that Broly Hirudegarn deck and basically just changed the leader? Because it is, the Hirudegarn package is a lot of resource denial itself. So just having the Dredge-Ku leader behind it to blow up the field if things get hairy seemed like a good option to me.
Gotcha. And so your all's like thoughts about going against each other.
So this was the second match of the night. I had already played against another Green Goku leader. And while I did know what Dredge-Ku done, I was still in... My mind was in the previous matchup. So there's a lot of plays throughout here where I feel like I'm playing against a completely different deck, and then Fluff's like, okay, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm like, well, it don't do that, right? And he's like, yeah, it does. Read the damn card, stoofus. And so there's a lot of times in here where I'm stopping and being like, wait, that's the wrong leader. What the fuck? Where did this leader come from?
I was worried about this match just because I knew what this deck could do early. Kind of in the turns that I'm trying to get set up, I know what this deck is capable of doing. So I feel like I've got an uphill advantage. It just depends on how well I'm able to control your hand.
Yeah, that has been so far my biggest weakness with Whis, is the hand control aspect. Playing against most decks, I have options for pretty much every strategy except for hand control. There are very few cards in my deck that get value out of the drop area. But it usually requires me to have more setup on the board, which green is really good at removing cards off the field. Especially when you can remove barrier like on the backside of your leader.
Yeah.
So, like, the Vados, I can combo with cards from my drop area. The one-drop Whis will give me a card draw when I combo. So, like, I can kind of stay afloat, but if green is on top of things and is clearing my field quickly and keeping my hand low, there's nothing I can do when I'm just a sitting duck. So, right here is one of those plays where I'm like, oh, this is not Dredge-Ku, this is a different deck, because if you know what Dredge-Ku does, you get to awaken when one of your battle cards is KO'd. So I just willy-nilly swing into that Tapion, and I'm like, wait, hold up, it don't do that, though. And then I'm like, oh shit, you're right.
How'd that make you feel, Fluff? Like, he tapped down your blocker, and then chose to swing into it afterwards.
That felt good. The thing that scared me is he tapped down my blocker.
Yeah, Vados can do that.
Yeah. So losing my blockers, because I do run like Cosmic Elite Zarbon, I do run the Tapions, I run a couple other cards that are blockers, and those are a majority of my defense. I do run stuff like Dormant Potential, but it's just a matter of finding it plus a Unison. I do run other things that are defensive, like you see, I charge the Bupo there, but losing access to my blocker pool effectively sucks.
And usually with Whis, I don't mind swinging into the battle area. I wanted to use the tap down just to be able to board Poutine, which I knew was going to be very good because you showed me your list earlier in the night. And I have had some experience with the Hirudegarn package specifically and Majin Vegeta. So I knew that pretty much every card in your deck is going to be played by skill. So Poutine was going to be the workhorse of the deck. Yeah. And then you choose to activate your leader ability, which is still disgustingly good.
Yeah, it's a little early to be activating that, but I need that poutine off the field.
Yeah, the poutine, you removing the poutine really scared me. That was like red alert once you got rid of that, and I'm like, okay, damn, I gotta really figure out what I'm doing, especially since I have a very low hand at this point, because I boarded so many cards early and committed to the field, which could be seen as a misplay. But I think it was worth it to get at least 2 life off of you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely worth it. Maybe I focused on that unison too much in that turn instead of focusing on the leader, but I was trying to hopefully kill the Vados, and I just didn't have the ability to do so.
It's kind of like a good and bad to focus down the unison against Whis. This early, it gives me my early awaken, which I wanted to be able to utilize my energy before I would activate my awaken, so I get full value. But at the same time, that keeps pressure off my leader and lets me build my hand back up, where I expended most of it to the field. And then one of the other great things about Whis is it has so much good built-in removal, but half of those cards were useless in this matchup due to you wanting me to remove your cards.
Yeah.
Which became a problem because there was a lot of times where I'm like, I'm going to tap 2 energy, board my skillless Goku, then go into the Deity's Disciple, which you can see 1 in my energy, which will KO something in rest mode, which is usually fantastic in yellow because very few yellow cards up until the newer sets have the word KO on them. But in this particular matchup, it was actually a bad thing for me to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed going over this video, you warped the dormant, which, I mean, I'm not sure what the mindset was, but you did unfortunately have to crit a dormant out of your life earlier when you did do Dredge-Ku's effect. And you only played 3, I think, in your deck.
Yep. My draw, so I warped the dormant because I didn't have a unison. And then my draw for the turn was a unison.
Okay. That's how it always happens, so...
So then I'm kind of like, okay, can I find a dormant? And I will say one of the negatives to playing Dredge-Ku with the Hirudegarn package is that the burst kind of works against you. You generally only have about enough time to work up one chain before you burst off all of one particular piece. Like there you saw I bursted a 4, before I bursted a 9, I think I bursted a 3, I think I bursted a 6, and I've charged a 6. So unlike with other variants where you keep the pieces in your deck, this one moves them to the drop area, which is why I was running the Toa Overwhelm for the discard. So you run out of Hirudegarn pieces. And basically all I'm able to do during this turn is KO the Minosha, put up the 3-drop, pass with 2 energy with a Bupo in hand, and do this, and then walk right into that cooler. So now I'm defenseless with whatever Jimmy wants to do.
And keep in mind, Jimmy could have awakened any time, but he waited until the opportunity, which I felt like that was a good opportunity to do it.
Yeah, I was just looking for any excuse to use my energy. And I saw that was the perfect, I guess, resource exchange, where I'm going to tap 3 energy, I'm going to board a 15k, he's basically going to discard 1 and tap down 2 of his energy. And then I'm going to get 1 of those energy back with my Awaken. So I seen that as the best possible resource exchange that I could do. Otherwise, I think I was just going to tap 2 and board a skillless, which always feels horrible in Whis when I could do it for free on my opponent's turn. So I was really happy to see that Bupo come down and give me an excuse to use up my energy for something other than a skillless.
Yeah.
But still, at this point in the game, like, while I do feel really good, I also am scared of what's coming next because I know of how explosive Hirudegarn could be and how many resources Hirudegarn can bleed from me in a single turn. That I was still really, really on my toes the entire time during this match. I know we always cut the audio from these, but there's one point in this match where Fluff just goes no negate, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm holding my breath the entire time.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer the leader change here. Like the deck itself felt really good, and then I felt like the leader worked against the deck in a lot of ways. Because the Dredge-Ku effect does not KO cards, it just places them in the drop area. And that does not trigger the Hirudegarn's effect. So now, if I want to get rid of your Poutine, I have to sacrifice my chain. Which feels really bad.
To clarify, the Hirudegarn package is either from deck or hand, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only step that is directly from hand is the ancient music box into Minutia. The Minutia has to be in your hand when you activate the sealed music box.
Yeah.
And here I'm able to utilize the combo kill, which is going to make things a little bit easier for me. The chain really starts to put in a lot of work once you get that 4-drop on there. Because of the way that Whis is worded, he still gets to play that skillless despite the combo kill, which works differently than, say, something like a combo ape.
Yeah. Which I really like the wording on Whis because it's worded specifically that when the card is placed in the drop area from the combo area, you get to play it. So there could be, situations where you get combo killed, and then you just combo the card back off of your field. Which in this case it wasn't necessary, but it kind of protects one of your combos, a skillless specifically.
Yeah.
Which I did. Anytime there's a combo kill on a Unison, I will never fail to forget that text is on that card, and I'll walk right into it 100% of the time. If you want to beat me, just play combo killers on Unisons.
Yeah.
And I'll walk into it every single time.
This is a hairy situation for me going into you with 5 energy, and I've only got the 1 blocker and 1 open energy. I know what's in my hand, and it exactly does not involve dormant. So even though I'm at 4 life, I'm at a very precarious situation here. And you'll see Bancroft pointed out a thing to me, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt for it.
And I want to, going into this next turn, Fluff, you did pay 1 energy for the 2-drop. It's not Tapion.
The Zarbon.
No.
The
Minutia?
It is Tapion.
Is it Tapion? Okay.
Yeah.
It's supposed to play at the beginning of your turn, but due to Poutine's auto, it would have been tapped. So you don't play it right here. I'm just pointing it out right now.
Oh, yeah. I did forget the Tapion.
Yeah, I think it was also a time earlier in the game where I forgot to resolve a Poutine effect.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
This card's good.
Yeah, this card is a little nutty.
It is wild to me that Phados can tap anything.
Unison or battle card. It doesn't ignore barrier, though.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
So here,
Vados is just a workhorse.
So here you do the spirit boost to so he can't activate skills on battle cards with energy costs less than 7. It's dual attack, double strike. And here's the question I asked Fluff: why did you not just do activate battle?
I forgot that it was activate main, activate battle. I thought it was activate main. I don't know that changed anything because I would have lost my entire field.
I will say you would have lost your field, but you couldn't activate blocker anyways because he's our activate spirit boost. He would have had only Vados and Whis to swing at you with 2 open energy. From what he comboed, there's not much there, so he would just have swing those and hope you didn't have a wave, just a free negate. I feel like.
Yeah, which I didn't.
So.
Yeah, which I also just learned today as well that was activate main / battle. Rewind the video a few minutes. That's when I learned that.
When I was going over the video, I was like, okay, wait, why did Fluff just take the damage? So I turned the audio on to listen to what happened. And yeah, you just took the damage. I'm like, okay, something's not right here. I double checked the card. I'm like, yeah, it's activate main / battle.
I remember reading the leader earlier in the night because Bancroft had thrown the deck together for me at my request. And I remember reading the leader, and in my mind, there's just a glare over the / battle. So I just see activate main. That's how it goes in my head. So like it completely ignored the fact that it said / battle. I did not use it for / battle for the entirety of the night. Do I think me forgetting that changes the result of this match? No. Because I lose my spot in the chain without a great way to recover that chain.
So with that being said, Jimmy goes to the finals. As you all saw yesterday, he goes up against me, and we decided not to do a third video with both my deck and Jimmy's deck, so we played off camera. So tomorrow's video and the day after won't feature the first play matchup just because we just didn't want that many. Jimmy did get the tournament that night though, so kudos to Jimmy with Whis. It was really strong. It was a really good deck to play against as well. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Keep on those buttons down below. And Fluff, outro, right?
I think my outro has more weight than it usually does, but read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And it's always Fluff out.